This is exactly why silver is still bullish and gold is definitely still bullish in this market, even after the massive, almost 50% shed on silver and the almost 20% shed on gold. If you're not familiar with who I am, my name is Drew Wolfer and I am a pro trader inside of the metals markets, among others, and I am also the founder of NORDIC Alpha. In this video, I'm going to tell you the exact reasons why I think gold has a direct and pretty decent path to new all-time highs, definitely to the all-time highs that we already have, and how silver, because of this one thing that just happened, actually has a pretty decent path to all-time highs as well. The first thing I want to talk about before we get into the charts, because I'm going to show you this from a technical perspective. Why do I think that they have this from a fundamental perspective? In particular, gold itself, actually, nothing has changed for either of the metals, but definitely less has changed for gold than has changed for silver. Gold is still going to have a nice floor due to central bank demand, due to sovereign nations wanting to de-dollarize themselves, okay? I actually did a pretty decent deep dive on this on one of my website videos. If you want to go and check it out, it's on my Wake Up page. But essentially what's happening is there is a big movement in the background by the BRICS nations, by central banks. They all are the smartest money in the room, and they understand that gold is a recession-proof asset. They understand that gold has zero counterparty risk, right? They understand that gold has withstood the test of time for centuries, right, and generations, okay? So there has been nothing that has changed from a fundamental perspective and basis on gold that would make me think gold is going to go down to $2,500. Gold is going to go down to $3,000, $3,500 here. There's nothing that would make me think that, okay? And the reason is because we have this floor. We have this demand. We have inherently higher prices than we have ever had, and the demand for it is exponentially increasing, and it has been over the past 5 years, where central banks have actually bought, on average, 1,000 metric tons of gold every single year for the past 5 years. If you hear the dinosaur birds in the background going crazy, I apologize. There's nothing I can do. These guys are over here. They're set tripping. They're gang banging. They've got their own territories. And if one comes onto their territory, they start telling them. The Florida dinosaur birds are absolutely crazy. Now let's talk about silver. Literally nothing has changed. Actually, it's gotten a little bit better from a fundamental perspective. Let me ask you a question. Silver prices have gone down, right? We all understand the manipulation that happened because of it, or that caused it, right? We all understand who was shorting, you know, Schmapey, Schmorgan, and all their, you know, schmanker buddies, right? We all know that. I'm not going to say who they are because the YouTube algorithm might not like that. Has demand changed at all for silver, or has it gotten actually inherently more? We have all of these industrial technologies that rely very heavily on silver itself, okay? You have the Shanghai exchange with a $15 to $17 premium at peak, right? And at least, you know, $5 to $10 premium at the majority of the time, right? And that means they are telling you that there's not enough on the market. And they're like, hey, have fun, COMEX, have fun. You can sell it for $5 to $10 cheaper if you want to make less money, but we're not going to do that because we know that there's only so much on the market and that silver can't be mined by itself. It's a byproduct. It's not like you can't just go out and buy a silver mine. You have to mine it with copper. It's a byproduct mine, okay? So nothing has changed from a fundamental factor that makes me think that either silver or gold is going to go down. I'm going to show you exactly how we have a path, new path to all-time highs here inside of the charts. So now for gold, okay? We have uptrends on every single chart except for the 4 hour right now, okay? And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. We had our previous lows, right? Then we came up. These were our previous 1 hour highs. Then we took those out, okay? This flipped us back to bullish right here on the 1 hour chart. Now, really quickly, one thing I will say, if you don't understand why the highs were exactly where I put them, a lot of people have the wrong highs on their chart because they don't understand what market structure actually is and how to plot the proper highs and the proper lows. A lot of people thought those highs were at 54.70 to $5,480, if not more like $5,600 at the all-time highs. And I know this is hard to understand, but they weren't. They were exactly right there where I just showed you on the chart. And this is something that I teach on this channel and inside of Nordic Alpha. Now, the 4-hour chart is the only chart that is bearish, or the time frame that is bearish. So in my opinion, if we get above the $5,113 level, and somehow we can take out this $5,200 level and leg our way up, the only level that actually matters in between here and here is this one right here, $5,450. That is the only place you're really gonna see resistance before you see any real resistance right up here. Now, once you close a 4-hour candle above this, you are in an uptrend on every single chart. Now, you may be wondering, what are the downsides to this, right? Well, your first downside is gonna be right here at about $4,700. You would like to stay above $4,700 because at the end of the day, you have to stay above this right here to keep your uptrends on all of those charts, except for obviously the 4-hour that's not in an uptrend right at this second. So if we stay above 44.23, we are absolutely bullish on gold. Now let me show you silver really quick, because at the end of the day, I do believe gold is probably going to get up here relatively quickly. And we actually took this trade right here inside of Nordic Alpha. We took full profits on that. We took this trade, and now we are just trying to leg our way up and continue riding this long. So for silver, we actually lost our long-term pivot point, which was right here. And then we rejected from it and then fell right down to a key level that we called out. Okay, and that key level was $64. That key level is actually the only level that really matters right now. You just have to uphold that $64 level. If you close an hourly, a 4-hour, a 12-hour, and a daily candle below that, you're in a downtrend on every single one of those time frames. Now, the good news is that our old highs from the 1-hour, the 4-hour, the 12-hour, and the daily's perspective were up here, and these were our lows, right? Now, we actually smacked those lows right here and closed a candle under them, moving our lows down here. But what that also did was it allowed us on the 1-hour, the 4-hour, and the 12-hour specifically to move our highs down to here. Now, we did SFP down here, which is a swing failure pattern on the 1-day chart, so we did not get to move our highs on the 1-day chart. But as long as we get up above this double top level at $82, right, we really have to get up above this. This was super bearish that we lost this, so this is going to be resistance. And then as long as we close a 12-hour, 4-hour, and 1-hour candle above $92.01, we are actually bullish on every single chart except for the 1-day chart, in which we have to come up here and close a candle above the all-time high. But my point, this is actually bullish because we used to have to take out $122 on every time frame to be even a smidgen bullish, and now all we got to do is take out $92. That is way easier, in my opinion, to take out $92 than it obviously is to take out $122. So that is why I think gold is mega bullish at that level, and why I think silver is actually bullish in a bearish scenario right now, so long as we take out those couple of things and the couple of things that I just outlined actually happen.